speak. So, as I said, I'm going to try and move this to the early on, so those of you that do have to get back this afternoon, you have plenty of time to make it live or drive. I'm going to shift the agenda forward so that this time I'm going to call on Commissioner Crane to present item, yield the chair to Commissioner Crane to present item 9.2.8 relating to considering approving site designations for the Houston Astrodome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Texas Historical Commission formally certify the designation of the Houston Astrodome owned by Harris County as a state antiquities landmark. Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, I will second that motion.
There is a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, there is. I've over the last several months, I've tried to get a pretty good handle on this project and where all of the pride and nerves of the Houston and Texas community are, and trying to get an informed decision or before all the facts that I can get clear in my head before I decide one way or other on this. I have met with a couple of people that have spoken here. I haven't met with everybody. On the other hand, I'm an architect and chairman of the Texas Historical Commission, so I certainly, you know where my heart is. As with everybody I've met with, I've told that, we're probably going to get a black eye out of this somewhere. I'm not sure if it's the left eye or the right eye, or both eyes. I'd like to come out unscathed. And I think in everything that I do, I look for a win-win solution. I think everybody ought to come out of this feeling like they won. And so that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm trying my best to find that kind of solution. I think what is important here is that if we are able to save this structure, that we find a sustainable use for this. All of us here up on the dais have been through recently and have been through a number of situations where there have been designations on projects that are not economically sustainable, and we know what happens there, and it's not a happy ending. So I think as I look at it, I know that there are those that are ready to tear down the dome, and I think in many cases, or in most cases, that's just because they've been through so much and tried many times and are just at their wits' end that possibly this isn't going to happen, and this is going to drag on and on. I believe what may be a deal changer on this deal is the passage of the new state tax credit for state preservation tax credit, which adds another 25% to the existing 20% national or federal tax credit, which may change the deal and may change the numbers that are possibly out there. And I think there's an opportunity to possibly look at this deal in a new light. I know there was a proposal on the table that made this Astrodome into a venue that was at one time acceptable to all of the stakeholders, that tended to me to make a lot of sense if it could be made to happen. I mean, you've got two ready-to-go tenants on this facility. You've got a facility, a structure in place, and the land in place that's probably worth in excess of $100 million. And you've got close to 50% tax credit. I think there's a deal there that could be made. If I were, and I am going to go talk with the judge and a number of other people in Houston, if we have some time, to talk about the possibility of a public-private partnership to make this happen. I think that if I were doing it, I would bring on a program manager to work with all parties to make sure you've got a use that works with all parties. And then I would put some real numbers to it and a real business plan, pro forma to it, to see what happens when you take this extra 25% tax credit into play and see how that works out. And if it is workable, which I believe it will be, then to put that out for bids and possibly bring in a public-private partner to execute it and get it in place and do it. I think the real advantage here to anybody, and to not just Reliance Stadium, but to the city of Houston and to the state of Texas, is that it is a very historical building, an important building and a significant building to the history of our state and our people. And it's not just another venue. Today, anybody can go out there with the money and the demand and build a new sports venue or a new entertainment venue or whatever, but it's not the Astrodome. Houston, in the past, has not been one to really build upon its past. It's always been something new or something new or something new, and I think they're missing out on a lot of opportunity there to really build on the character, the history, and the heritage of that city, which makes cities much more interesting. If you look at Chicago, it's a city that is built over and over and over and over again on the best of the best, and it's just a history book of great buildings and great spaces and great things. And I think that every city in Texas can learn from that and can make themselves better. I am concerned, in my mind, that if we put the designation on it today, that we may possibly make that deal harder to happen at this point in time. I would like to see them try to pull in the players and then possibly work with the players to make this happen and to make it happen in a historical sense that does capture that and that does make Houston a better city than it is today. So I would like to hear from other commissioners if they have their thoughts or any other statements that would like to be made before I make a motion. And so I'm going to sit back and then come back and put my thoughts on the table.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I can support this because, first of all, it meets all the criteria. And on that basis alone, I could support it. But it is a remarkable building in a remarkable city filled with creative, thoughtful people. If the people of Houston can't find an adaptive reuse for this building with all of their resources, then it can't be done. I cannot imagine that there aren't people there that can figure this out, and they can do it within the confines of the landmark designation. That should not stop folks from being creative and finding a solution to save one of the most remarkable buildings in this country.
Oh, amen.
Any other comments?
Okay, that said, I would like to make a motion to table this action, and I would like to hear, possibly have a meeting in Houston where we can hear from the judge or the county their thoughts on this. I would like to see them try to put together a deal to make this happen. I would like to see it happen sooner. I'd like to see an effort made to take advantage of the state tax credit now, or demonstrate the economic hardship that may be if a deal doesn't happen. But I think you can see that there's a lot of people on this commission that would like to see this designated. I think there's possibly some people that are concerned about the economic hardship if it is not designated. But I would like to hear from the county and the judge directly, and I would like to see some motion, some board of progress made trying to put a deal together. I think there is a deal together. So my motion is to table this item at this time, recognizing that we're not going to wait forever. Just sit on this thing. We want something to happen. So
There's a motion to table. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. We need to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
okay. That's done. We will get back on